Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about Rosie. She has been going live tons. I mean, we're talking 3 hour, 5 hour live streams. It's a lot to keep up with, but I did want to today bop through a couple of different live streams because she has been yo-yoing all over the place. And I think I know why this is happening. So I want to throw my conspiracy out there, and then you guys can tell me what you think. YouTube has been having issues the past couple of days. I thought it was on my end, and so I was panicking, trying to figure out how to fix things. Turns out it wasn't me, it's YouTube. A lot of other creators are having the problem. People are just having issues watching. So we're going to do our best today. So we're going to go ahead and get over here to Miss Rosie. And we're going to start with a live stream she did 5 days ago called Depression is Kicking My Butt 2 a.m. Cleaning Live. This is a 3.5 hour live stream. We're definitely not going to get through all of it, but I wanted to start here so that we had a starting point for us to launch off of to see the progressions that we've had over the last week. So here we go with Miss Rosie. Okay, at this point, when she did this live stream, she hadn't been live for a few days. She had been talking about, her health arc that we were getting ready to go on. We had our big shopping vlog, and then we just kind of disappeared, really. Um, and this is where we're starting at 2 a.m. in the morning. It looks like we have not washed our hair in days, and she's putting gloves on, so I'm assuming that we're getting ready to clean the kitchen. She claims that her kitchen is never a mess, it's never horribly dirty, but we just watched her, I think a week ago, have to deal with cleaning and all the dishes in the sink, and the dishes were so bad we had to wear gloves because she couldn't physically touch them with bare hands. So we're gonna see how bad this is.
All right, let's get to it. Hello, Gloria. I'm like expecting not a lot of people to show up because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, granted, I do have people all over the world in different time zones, but what up? Okay. Okay, I thought you were asleep. Sorry, I literally just went live because I'm dealing with this. Hello.
I just went live because I'm dealing with this. Why can't she do any of her chores, any normal stuff, without having an audience? I don't go live every every time that I need to fold laundry. I don't go live every time I'm cooking dinner. I don't go live every time that I'm doing dishes. I don't go live every time that I'm baking something. I don't go live when I take my dogs outside. I don't understand the need for an audience to do all of these normal things. And honestly, I don't know that you guys would show up. Would you show up if I went live to sit there and talk to you guys while I got my husband's coffee ready for the next day and I did dishes and I was, getting things prepped for our meal for the evening? Like, I don't know that anybody would show up and want to watch me do that personally. So I don't understand her need for that. I mean, I get it, it's ass pats and all of that, but, why can't we do anything? Clearly, we haven't been going live, which means we haven't been showering, we haven't been taking care of the dishes, we haven't been taking care of the chores around the house. Why do we require an audience for this?
Sleep well. Hey, Carmela, you're awake? Hi, Kaylee. Hi, Tiny Tigers. Yeah. I've been feeling pretty low, so I got 3 drinks, and I'm gonna share one with you. You know what? You do you, boo. Once I get to a certain point, I may or may not take a sip of my drink, which is non-alcoholic, but something else. Yeah, it's like almost the middle of the month, and I've barely been going live. I'm gonna regret this next month, but I haven't been able to like overcome it, and so I was just like debating with myself because like I've been it's one of those things like where things start to snowball, you know, and I was just like I was considering going live members only, but I've actually decided I'm gonna upload probably pretty soon my Aldi's grocery haul and keep it members only video because it's a little bit older now, but I still want to upload it so members can still enjoy it. Um, so I'm just gonna leave that as like a members only vlog. Um, I think I need to like edit one small thing on it, like add some text somewhere, and then it's ready.
Okay, this was 5 days ago, and I don't think it's been uploaded yet.
So I'm gonna do that, and then I have just been I'm not been doing good, so I'm just trying to push through. Um, but I did do something I wasn't planning on doing this recently, um, but I was kind of surprised. I'm surprised that I'm not, I should say, because I didn't think I'd like gain weight or anything, but I lost like 8 pounds or something, and like I think it was like not even 2 weeks.
Okay. Um, I don't know how Rosie can't know this. Um, I think a lot of people know it, but maybe not everybody knows it. When you change your diet, and you're cutting down on salt, you're drinking more water, and you're starting to eat less processed things and just eat better food in general, your body, it appears like it drops weight super fast. But what it is that a lot of times you are dropping water weight because one of the first things that happens, whether you realize it or not, is that your sodium intake goes down, especially if you stop eating a lot of processed foods. And so the second that that happens, your body stops holding on to all of that water. It sheds all of that water super fast. And when you get on the scale, it's like, dang, girl, you're down 10 pounds. That is a very normal thing. Same thing happens. This is why it's kind of frustrating if you are a female. It will look like you've lost, 15 pounds total since you started your diet. Um, and then right before your time of the month, it will look like out of nowhere you gained 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and you're like, what is happening to me? And then once you get like a day or two past and you get back on the scale, you've dropped 6 pounds, 7 pounds, and you're like, what in the world is happening? It is all water weight. Water weight causes you to fluctuate so much because of bloating and salt intake and all of that stuff. So I would assume that she would realize that, because we haven't seen a whole lot of her, really changing a whole lot except cutting down on salt, really. Um, so that's one of the first things that happens. But, you know,
I was like, oh shit, okay, tea. Um, but I'm just trying to push through, and I'm making some small incremental changes to like my life in terms of the mental health side of things. Because I've got to make some. I'm not doing well, and
okay, small incremental changes are great. And she says she's pushing through, but pushing through means doing it anyways. When my mental health is suffering, um, I make sure, like I always have to-do list, but I make sure to make my to-do list even more detailed. And, it is everything on there like take a shower, change clothes, brush teeth, unload dishwasher, reload dishwasher, take boys out. Like I write all of that stuff down because it keeps me on a schedule. But on top of it, sometimes, and I get it, I fully understand it. Sometimes when you are depressed, it is just a struggle to even want to get in the shower. It is a struggle to even want to get out of bed and walk to the kitchen and eat. I get that. But if you continue doing those things, if you for real push through it and continue doing those things, it does so much for your mental health and to help, first of all, keep you from sliding too far down into that slump, but it also helps to pull you back up out of that slump. Also, sleeping. A good sleeping pattern will help tons when it's like that. And once you're up, don't get back in bed. Like, whatever your sleeping pattern is, once your sleep routine is done, don't lay back down. Stay up. Keep moving.
Yeah, so not a fan of that. So that's not fun nor fresh. Um, to the point that my dishes are in a state they normally are not. Normally, even if I have dishes like laying around, I'm a lot better about like rinsing them out, making sure they're not disgusting. And yeah.
That is not true because I have only been making Girl World content for about a month and a half now, almost 2 months. And since we have been making content and watching Rosie, we have seen her like this 3 times at this point. So if you ask me, that means that this is a regular occurrence. She just thinks that because it happens, sporadically and far apart, that she can gaslight all of us into believing that that's not the case and that she's actually a really, really, really good homemaker, and she's not.
Yeah, I haven't been doing that. So there's nothing that cures depression. Fit like omega fatty acids and stuff in fish may help, but don't ever offer cures to depression like that. That's not true. Hey GT, you've done before and we know you'll do it again.
Nothing cures depression, that's true. However, there are plenty of things that you can put in place to help lessen it and to help you overcome it quicker, like diet, like sunlight, exercise, sticking to a schedule, sticking to a sleep pattern. Music. You have to be very careful about the type of music that you listen to. You don't want to listen to a lot of really depressing stuff. Even though it's soothing to listen to that when you feel that way, you really don't want to do that. And you have to really find the things that work for you. But like we've talked about before, I think she likes the suffering. I think she likes the attention that it gets her. And so sometimes I think she leans into it a lot more than what she's really experiencing.
Thank you so much. Like drinking water and getting sunshine helps depression, doesn't cure it. Certain foods can help depression, doesn't cure it, especially when you've got chronic, um, like chronic depressive disorders. And that's just misinformation to be sharing with people. But yeah, salmon is a great.
See, she says chronic depressive disorders like it's a blanket she can wrap around her. It's something you don't understand. It's chronic for me. You know, don't look at it as a title. Look at it as something to overcome. You are not your diagnosis. You are never your diagnosis. Like it is something for you to overcome, and it's a battle that, when you have mental health issues, you do fight them for your entire life. Like you are a warrior for your entire life, and not everybody wins those battles, but the fact that you show up every day and fight them is what is important. And I think a lot of times Rosie just rolls over and is like, huh, it is what it is. I am chronic. And that's not a good place to be.
Food for your health for a lot of reasons. So I have severe chronic depression too. Luckily, meds and therapy have helped. Yeah, I've been trying for years. We'll see. Aw, thank
Because Rosie also claims that she is therapy resistant. Um, Everything that she has is resistant to medication. She's resistant to therapy of any kind. It's just like her autism that she has not been diagnosed with, that she likes to scream about and talk about. It's just because it's resistant to the testing. That's why we don't know. She's very much like glitter and laser. She is a medical phenomenon that none of us understand, and it is her cross to bear. And it's a wonderful thing that we get to watch it happen.
thank you, Carmela. That'd be really sweet. Yeah, so I just need to like, you gotta to be able to walk a mile. You have to take the first step. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Depression is very treatment resistant. It's not your fault. Thank you, Sunny. Yeah, it is. I struggle with a lot of like treatment resistance. And that's like, I've put years and years and years into therapy and
I swear she's listening to us, guys.
different trauma work and stuff. And it's just like, it's hard to not want to give up sometimes. Look on the bright side. You have us and you're being productive. Yeah, that's why I was like, let me just like go live because that'll help distract me. And I used to do body doubling lives all the time. Like if you scroll back in my catalog of lives, I had tons of lives where like body doubling's in the title. And I used to do it a lot, and I still do it sometimes, but it's just hard nowadays. Like sometimes I feel like there's just such a microscope on every little thing about me and my life. Like it's just exhausting. Like I don't have another word for it. It's just exhausting. And sometimes I'm like pretty good about it, and it doesn't really bug me any, and I'm fine. And then other times it's not like that.
The thing is, if she wouldn't go and seek out reaction channels, if she wouldn't go and watch this content, if she would not look at those things on Twitter, because she talks all the time about stuff that she sees about herself, stuff that she's watched about herself, she would have no clue what people are saying. And she could live in this perfectly wonderful little bubble and not feel like she had all the scrutiny on her. Same thing, I would be telling my chat, if you see stuff about me, if you see people talking about me, don't email me. Don't tell me. I don't care. I want to live in my perfect little bubble right here and just be completely ignorant to everything that people are saying about me. There is nothing wrong with that, especially if that's what you need to do to protect your mental health, but instead she goes and searches for it. She wants to know. She has to know. Amber and Foodie do the same thing.
You are a very successful YouTuber. I don't know about that yet. I don't think I've reached that point yet. I think I'm definitely have success in it, and like, I'm monetized and I've been able to make, um, I'm able to make some money from it. But I don't know about that. Have you been tested for Cushing's disease? No, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, she has over 50,000 subscribers. She could be extremely successful at YouTube. She chooses not to be. Just like she said, we're halfway through the month. I've hardly done anything. She could be successful if she wanted to. A lot of times, YouTube is about the effort that you are willing to put into it. Amber's not my favorite person on the face of the planet. However, somebody asked her the other day and said, when you started doing vlogs, how far ahead would you record content? And Amber said, you know what? There were points in time that I had months worth of content pre recorded so that even if I couldn't get something done, I could throw something up there real fast. You know, Amber doesn't put in a lot of effort now, but she used to put in effort to make sure that she had content going up and that there was always something for people to look at. Rosie doesn't. I think Rosie thought that she was going to just show up and it was just going to be immediate success. Same thing with Foodie. Foodie doesn't put in a lot of effort, but she does put up vlogs. And then on top of it, she live streams like crazy. And she puts an effort into her lives and her stories. Like, guys, I can't walk anymore. I have a broken hip. Would you like to buy me a scooter? And then pushes that and, turns it into a success. Rosie does none of that. And I've laid out how she could be successful on YouTube, especially with this health arc thing. And she's, doing her own thing.
I'm glad you've been here full time. Work has been driving me crazy. I'm sorry, work is driving me crazy. That sucks. You shouldn't be so down on yourself. A lot of people can't do what you do. Thank you. Yeah. There's a lot of people who do YouTube and think that they're like, hot shit for it, but they don't share their lives. They're either reactionary or commentary content or content that's like outside of them in their lives, and it's very different when like your content is your life, or like your life is content at times, right? So it's like in terms of vlogging and like someone who chooses to open themselves up to that. Like those are just two very different um, experiences.
Well, here's the thing. I do reactionary content now. However, I used to share my life. I vlogged everything when we were homesteading, and I shared that. Then, you know, um, my community at the time went through my very first stroke with me. I vlogged that. And then once we moved into town and I was up and able to do things again, I then began vlogging historical content and cooking. I was cooking historical recipes. I was teaching people how to sew things by hand. I was teaching how to crochet. I was doing all of those things. I even showed our wedding anniversary is coming up in a couple of days. And we had a historical Victorian wedding, and everything, all of the food was historically appropriate recipes. And I baked all of that. I vlogged every ounce of it. And so I do understand that side of it. The difference is that a lot of people weren't watching my content because there wasn't anything problematic with my content. Who wants to sit and watch somebody chop firewood by hand and haul water and hand wash clothes when we could sit and watch you be a hot mess all over the internet? Same thing when it came to the Victorian content. I had people who watched, I had people who commented, and I had people who had, not always nice things to say about it. But who wants to sit and watch me talking about, hey, this is how you run your household in a Victorian manner? This is how you hand sew an entire dress. This is how we do all of these things. That's not what the world is interested in right now. And especially when we have people like the girls that we can sit and watch, and it's brain rot. It's just entertainment, and they have no problem completely showing their asses online to get views. And it is what it is, and I don't think she understands the difference between it.
So it's the B vitamins, I think. Well, my B12 was good. My folic acid was bad, which I know is related to one of the B vitamins. Back whenever I got that tested, I probably need to be oh, Sunny, thank you for joining membership. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. What did you have for tea? Nobody can bring you down if you were true to yourself. What did you have for tea? What does that question mean? What did I have for tea? You mean like my butterfly pea flower tea? That's confusing me. I'm not sure what you're referring to there.
Okay, guys, so as you can see, we have 3 hours and 27 minutes of we are horribly depressed, and it's just awful to be Miss Rosie. Um, we're going to go ahead and we're gonna skip back over here and get to the very next live stream um, to see the difference here. And where my conspiracy theory comes in. Because suddenly we show up, we had been horribly depressed, we are in full makeup, we have our nails done, and I get sometimes that helps um, with your with mental health. I know it helps me sometimes, but I think there's another reason for this also. So let's go ahead and listen.
I have nothing to tell.
Oh,
I'm such a bad liar.
hold on. Let's go back just a
No, you don't know my
second.
face. You don't know.
Okay.
She's crazy. I really like my makeup today.
She was, if you don't remember and if you didn't watch it, I have a video called Fight of the Heavyweights, I think. And a lot of that was from this stream. Rosie came into the stream very much feeling herself, feeling very superior compared to Foodie. She ran her mouth a lot. And so it's a very drastic leap from where we were. I mean, this was filmed the very next day. Like, she filmed at 2 o'clock in the morning. This was the next evening. So I just want us to make sure that we keep in mind how drastic that switch was.
I don't know. Something about this specific eye look from that eyeshadow palette that I used. It's like I think it's my favorite my favorite look I've come up with the makeup I own. Lots and lots when I looks really good, thank you. Alright, gang. Hey, Big O, thank you. The lip color is perfect for you. Thank you. It's definitely faded over time, and it's so dry. Like, that's the one thing I don't like about this specific lipstick, is it just feels a little dry and uncomfortable, you know? Yes, makeup is gorge. I love the yellow orange shadow on brown eyes. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think, like, the bright yellow oranginess just pops. Is that what I think it is?
Okay, so our phone goes off and we're like, is that who we think it is? And then we come back and we have that stupid grin on our face. She is waiting for people to ask her. Nobody, I mean, she does everything for a reason so that she can get attention and so people can understand what's happening. So she got a random text and we're very excited now. And we get the text when we just so happen to have makeup on and our nails done.
Anywho. Hey, Cadence. Hello, hello. What? I'm not, I have nothing to tell. I'm such a bad liar. No, you don't know my face. You don't know nothing about me, bitch. It's nobody. You don't gotta worry about it. It's my tea. It's the smile.
Okay, we get some attention. We get some male attention with who I think it is. And suddenly, and I think it had been going on for the entire day. I believe that's why we have makeup on. I believe that's why our nails are done. Because if you think about it, I personally think this is Jeff texting her because of a comment she'll make in a minute. But if you think about it, the entire time that her and Jeff were talking, she at least always looked showered. And the majority of the time we had makeup on, and she was trying to have nails on all the time. Um, and she's wanting to let people know that she is wanted. That's why she tells everybody. I don't sit here and, my phone's been going off this entire time that I have been recording. And I don't sit here and I'm like, oh, guys, my husband just texted me. He did actually, in fact, just text me. But I don't sit here and every time that I am recording and be like, my husband just texted me. I hope you know that means he likes me. I hope you know that means that he wants me. Just so you know. Oh, ask me about my husband, guys. That's not what happens. This is teenage high school crap. Like did this is getting a note from a boy in class and setting it just to make sure that your friend sees that it's a guy's handwriting so that they're like, ooh, is there a boy? Who's the boy? Uh,
I didn't mean to say what I said out loud. Again, sleep deprived. It is what it is. Anyway,
her sleep deprived is like Foodie's joking. Foodie will say the most horrendous things, and then once it has come out of her mouth, she's like, "I'm just joking, guys. It's just a joke. Like I don't ever mean anything like that." And that's not the case. They do it on purpose. We just have to have an excuse to get away with saying it.
I'm dying here, Goral. Well, what do you think it is? What's your theory? Messy. A new love interest or an old flame? I will confirm or deny nothing. A hint? I can't think of anything that won't give it away. I can't think of anything that won't give it away. Sorry. New or old? New or old? Old or new? ASL. Okay. It was a text from a man. That's what I'll say. That's the hint. There you go. Give it away so we already know them as so old flame. I don't know what you're talking about. What? And on that note, I should probably log the fuck off. Yeah. So, I'm actually like exhausted. I really should probably go. I keep saying I'm gonna go and then I don't. I have a really bad habit of doing that. It's something. It's like a chronic thing I do. So if that annoys you, I apologize. Am I high? No, I'm very. I'm actually not. Believe it or not. You know, I tell you guys when I am. I haven't. I've been awake since 10 p.m. yesterday, and it's currently 9:47. Home Alone legend. Ew, gross. Ugh. I wouldn't have even read that out loud if I realized what you were saying.
Well, we're definitely not interested in Salah. But so we have a man that is texting us. She can't say anything because it would give it away. Well, that means that we know who this man is, which means this is then Jeff, probably. That's who I'm going with. I don't know what anybody else thinks about it, but I think it I think it's Jeff, if you ask me. So this was, like I said, the day after our depressed stream when there was just no hope for us. It was so horrible. And then we get to our next live stream that we did. That was the very next day after the one that we just watched. And as you can see, we are again full makeup, feeling ourselves like it this is how we looked, so we have 2 days in a row. We have a man messaging us out of nowhere, and we just so happen to be full makeup and everything else. She did a live stream again. That was a day ago. Suddenly we are back to not looking showered. We are in pajamas again. We don't care about what we look like. So, what has changed? What's changed? So, I want us to listen to this little bit that she has to say here.
I found them, so I'm struggling to locate them. I did try pumpkin pie once, but it kind of tasted like nothing. Maybe it wasn't a good pumpkin pie. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Elbel, I'm not really interested in, just, casual sex. Like, no thanks. Push and pull, he's honestly maybe a narcissist. Have you ever used a dating app? I'm considering it. I have. I'm just really not interested in dating right now. I'm such a mess, bro. Like, I have such severe trust issues, it's just not even funny. It's, pathological. Not to say I'll never try or whatever, but it's just, I just kind of want to focus on, working on my healthier habits and, building myself up into a better spot. Because, I just feel like the last thing I want to do right now is attract a toxic partner if I'm lost within my own toxicity, you know? The last thing I want to do is repeat even an eighth of the pain I went through in my last relationship. And, I know with all relationships comes risks, but, I am not willing to settle for something just because I feel lonely. I've said it before. And I will continue to say it to the day that I die. I would rather have the ending.
Okay, we are starting to have issues, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. As you guys can tell from, I hope you guys could hear what Rosie was saying, um, that she's now decided suddenly that we are not dating, we're not interested in anyone, we're not interested in anything. And I find it very ironic, I guess, that we decide this after we've had 2 days of makeup, nails, talking to a particular man, and suddenly we don't want that anymore. It makes me wonder if there was trouble in paradise. Maybe Jeff wasn't interested in everything that Rosie was. I mean, we know she was pushing for a relationship the entire time, despite everything that had been said about him and the, evidence that people showed her. And, he pops back up, and clearly he probably wasn't interested in a relationship again. Um, so yeah, there's that. So, um, I am going to remind you guys that I need you to be good and behave yourselves, but if you can't, At least do it right and make me proud, and then post it online so we can talk about it later. Bye, guys.